So I was asked to come on Bloomberg to debate Kathy Wood, who is I don't know, she's in charge of ARK Invest, which is a fund that has done extremely well because it's been very, very bullish on Tesla. And Tesla stock, as most people know, has been doing very, very well recently. So she's been on the media a bunch. They wanted me to provide some contrasting perspective, which, given that even with the run up in stock being what it's been, she's still, I think her price target it's in the thousands of dollars. It was 4,000. I think she upped it to
7,000 last
time.
7,000.
Yeah.
And before you, full disclosure, I am a ARK investor. I have 2 of their ETFs. I've had them for over a year now, and they've done really well. And these are not the Tesla ones. These are in other sectors. They have several ETFs.
Right. So yeah, I mean, she's just been very, famous, notorious, whatever you want to say, as a major Tesla bull, and so I'm not an equities analyst, so I don't do valuations on companies. That's not my thing. But and in fact, really before Tesla, I was like totally never paid attention to markets at all, really. And the Tesla story has really sucked me into paying a lot more attention to them than I did ever thought I would. But she and to her credit, and I disagree with her about a lot, but she and ARK, they put their sort of model up online, so they're very transparent about their assumptions. And really, I think what I wanted to do was sort of just question some of the assumptions that underlie our valuation, right? Because people have different methods of applying multiples to cash flows, and there's all kinds of ways to evaluate a company. But the fundamental question is what's actually going to happen with that business? And I think there's the assumptions that underlie their very, very, very bullish projections are one that sort of the EV market or the car market is in the middle of this sort of demand-driven, complete shift to electric vehicles. As appealing as that is, it's something I want to believe. I like electric vehicles. I just don't think there's a ton of evidence to support that happening on the kind of time frame that they're projecting and to the extent that they're projecting. The other one is autonomous vehicles. I think they're way, 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 way more optimistic. Again, I have a podcast about autonomous vehicles. I think about them, talk about them all the time. I think they're great. I think right now, actually, a lot of people have gotten too pessimistic about them because of this sort of trough of disillusionment. But I think they're still not only way too optimistic about the timelines and the development of markets around AVs, but also specifically with Tesla. I think their belief that Tesla is a leader in autonomous vehicle technology is not very well supported by the facts. So those are kind of the...
By what facts?
Well, I mean, just evidence, right? So I've been in a lot of different...
They've stated their evidence. Then, you can't just say it's not supported by the facts and not back that up.
Okay, yeah. So what I'm saying is I've been in and seen videos of a lot of autonomous vehicles. I've been in a Waymo that was driving with literally no one in the driver's seats, right? There was no one else. I was in a Zoox just the other day in San Francisco through crazy, some of the craziest driving. And if you've driven in San Francisco, and this is not the chill part of San Francisco either. This is the crazy part of San Francisco. And some of these companies have really, really amazingly impressive technology, and I haven't seen anything from Tesla that even begins to come close to demonstrating that level of capability. And yet they're saying that they're going to be offering a level 5, which is, ultimate autonomy, for lack of a better way of putting it. And companies like Zoox are saying they're only going to be level 4. They're only going to be operating in certain areas. So Tesla, the combination of the level 5 goal and the fact that they're using much, 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 much more basic sensing hardware than everybody else in autonomy, it just doesn't.
Are you sure it's not just much instead of much?
Oh, it's much. In fact, if anything, I left a couple muches out there.
Okay.
So who else is offering a product right now that will take me through DC traffic from my office to my home without me touching the wheel, other than sensing that I'm there? I mean,
Would you okay, so what you're saying is that your car, you can get in your driver, in the like walk me through what you're actually describing here, because when you say a car drives itself, that means a lot of different things to different people. But
what I'm saying there is I can't buy any of the other products, but I get to the on-ramp, I push the button, and then it drops me off at the next off-ramp.
Okay. So
an hour and a half later, 30 miles.
Right.
Done.
Okay.
So
you're talking about the ability to navigate on the highway, essentially.
Yeah, and it passes all the slowpokes too.
Yeah. So I mean, look, highway is a very simple domain.
I wouldn't call it that.
It just fundamentally is.
Compared to some
simpler
of the cities,
than the rest of
statistically.
There's
no pedestrians, no cyclists.
On that point, Ed. Right. But what they were stating wasn't the capabilities of the car today. It's the underlying infrastructure that Tesla is creating that allows them to gather data and train their system, which is at a scale and scope that no one else can compare to.
So that's been
also,
wild.
I don't think that Tesla's ever called out level 5. They've described something that sounds like level 5.
Look at the transcript watch the video. The first conference call when full self-driving was announced, literally the first sentence, he said level 5. In Autonomy Week, he also reiterated level 5. So that is absolutely what they have been taking money for.
At Autonomy Week, level 5 was gone. It became level 4.
He repeated level 5.
But level 5 was no longer a standard at Autonomy Day. It literally, only level 4 is available.
Yes, it was.
Well, they're not restricting.
We can go back and
argue. That's the major difference between 4 and 5. So,
right.
Again, I don't want to, but I'll side with Ed on that part.
Okay.
Right. So
they did. Okay. They did literally. So the people who make the standards, they did come back and re-level them. So 4 is the
okay. Okay, wait. Can I cut through this for just a second? Go ahead. I get it. We can piss all over each other about what's level 4 and what's level 5 and what Elon said 5 years ago and what he said last week and all of that.
Okay.
But let's be clear. Elon has talked about full self-driving.
He has from AP1, which couldn't do it.
All of these things that lead people to believe that the car is no hands on the wheel, drives itself. Right now, nobody has that.
Yeah.
Waymo, Zoox, some of these other startups that are still in testing are doing it in a geofenced area. Ed, is that fair?
Yes. Level 4. Yeah. Geofence.
Now, I don't want to shut things down, but I also just don't want this to get into a pissing match where we start arguing about what's level 4 and what's level 5. That's a tedious show.
Okay, so there's a much easier distinction to make here, right? What Autopilot is, and I guess Navigate on Autopilot adds a slightly different dimension to it, but on a fundamental level, it's 2 systems, right? It's adaptive cruise control and it's a lane keeping system. Okay, now when you're on the highway, automating those 2 parts of the driving task feel like it's doing everything. It feels like the car is driving. But what's happening is you're not automating driving writ large, everything to do with driving. You're automating 2 specific aspects of the driving task, 2 sub-tasks. And you're doing it at a level of reliability that is such that the driver needs to maintain awareness and alertness at all times. We know, and so right. So Russell alluded to one issue, and for me, I have 2 specific criticisms of Tesla's automated driving strategy. First is that they have oversold Autopilot's capabilities, and we have situations where people have died because they haven't been paying attention. They've been treating those systems as more autonomous. We can debate that, but people have died. And it was because they hit obstacles that they should have been able to see but weren't paying attention to. So that's one separate issue, and that's a question of implementation of a driver assistance system.
We don't even know if people were alive when they hit the obstacles, but go ahead.
But yeah, and if you want to compare that to just people with no automated system, no autonomy, no driver assist, that happens as well.
Yeah, but that's not the point. The point isn't that
is the point.
No. The point is that
I
pull the button. It says hold the wheel.
I'm sorry. How much safer is this autopilot supposed to be?
Well, their goal is versus what they say is, but they've proven with their own numbers. They've shown the evidence that they are safer.
No,
whether you've pulled the trigger or not. That's only if you discount their what they've laid forth.
No, it's only if you discount what they compare it to, right? So they're comparing very expensive, very new cars being operated in limited and relatively easy domains to 11-year-old cars on average costing $30,000 or $34,000 or whatever on average being operated in every domain. It's not a fair comparison. But honestly, I mean, we can debate the driver assistance question and predictable abuse and all that. I'm happy to do that. But I think in the context of Tesla's valuation, I don't think Autopilot matters all that much. I think what matters is full self-driving and whether they're going to actually be able to deliver on that.